everyone, welcome back to Siblings A&J Gardening. I'm Angela. Still snow on the ground, side streets are still snow covered, sidewalks are still snow covered. It's a very, very cold day outside right now. I haven't eaten breakfast yet. I have not eaten lunch. So I'm frying some bacon, which I probably should get out of that skillet soon. I'm frying bacon. I'm going to make an omelet. I found a jar of salsa, one jar of salsa that I made a few years ago. I found downstairs. So I'm kind of going to put a twist on an omelet. I don't have any sour cream, but I'm going to put cream cheese on the side and a little bit of my salsa. I'm going to put onions and mushrooms and green peppers in my omelet. But the star of this meal are biscuits. Okay, I got the first round of bacon out. I put the second round in. I'm going to go ahead and cook the whole package. What we don't eat, we can just put in the refrigerator and you can eat it as you please. As you all can see, I have my Christmas shirt on. I'm going to say it's just a winter sweatshirt because it has joy. We should always have joy. It has a snowflake and it's wintertime and we've got snow on the ground. I'm going to try to make biscuits. And it's just a 3-ingredient recipe. 2 cups of self-rising milk, a stick of butter, which I have in the freezer that I'm going to grate into, and I made my own buttermilk. I didn't have any, and you know it's just a cup of milk and a tablespoon of vinegar. So I have that in the refrigerator. But once I get the bacon finished, that's when I'm going to start on the biscuits. I don't want to start too early because you have to work fast. You don't want the butter to melt too much. So according to this recipe, you have to work fast. You're going to preheat your oven at 450 and you're going to let the biscuits cook anywhere from 10 to 13 minutes. I've measured out my 2 cups of flour. I'm going to let that sit. I'm waiting on my oven to preheat at 450. My oven just beeped, so I'm going to get my butter out of this freezer and start grating my butter. And this is unsalted butter. I only buy unsalted butter. I think this is going to be the hard part. Trying to get all this butter in here in a timely fashion. You know what? I think I'm just going to put it down in there. I've only made biscuits one other time, and that was the recipe just white lily flour and heavy whipping cream. That recipe was okay, but I'm looking for something a little lighter and fluffier. So hopefully this recipe will do the trick. But I'm just going to keep grating this real quick and get back with you. I was able to grate all but a few little pieces of this butter. Boy, I'm telling you, that was a workout. It doesn't take long, and I had to end up doing it out of the bowl because the bowl, I didn't have enough room width-wise. Thought I was gonna hit my fingers on the side of the bowl. Okay, we're gonna set all of that aside. I don't have one of those grater things or that you can mix the flour. I don't know what you call it, the flour and the butter together. So I'm just gonna take a fork and kind of press that flour and the butter together. And you should have a crumble mixture. Okay, give you guys a better view. And it should be crumbly once you get all that in there mixed in. Mix it as well as you can before you add your milk. Uh-oh. As usual, I always make a mess. But I'm trying to work fast. I've never made biscuits like this before, so I'm really trying to follow the instructions, and they say work fast. You're gonna put a cup. Then I'm gonna take this and just fold in that buttermilk. And I was told I'm gonna have a sticky dough. Which is what you want. And then it says flour your surface. I think I'm gonna have to get my hands in there now. And it also says that once you flatten out your dough and make your biscuits, I'm just using a regular old juice glass. And I'm gonna flour that glass so they won't stick, flour the rim. But it says you put a little flour on the surface you're gonna be working on. Spread it out. You're gonna flour your hands really well. I just put some flour in a bowl so I wouldn't have to put my hands in my canister. And you're gonna get your dough out. Man, I wish I'd paid attention or asked my grandmother how she made biscuits. My grandmother was such a good cook. And back in the day when my mother grew up, you know, they made their bread, they made their biscuits. And I'm a beginner, I'm a novice at this, so don't laugh at me the way I'm kneading, but I hear you bring it to you and push out. Fold it in. Uh-oh. Bring it to you. Push out and in. Bring it to you and push out. Bring it to you and push out. But I think I do better if I got my rolling pin, but I guess I'll just keep working. See if I get my rolling pin out. I should have had it out in the first place. I don't know how many biscuits this is gonna make. I was gonna put it in a skillet, an iron skillet, but I went and got a cookie sheet out. And like I said, I've tried the white lily with the whipping cream, but I kind of want a lighter, fluffier biscuit. And this recipe is supposed to give you those type of biscuits. Okay, I'm gonna get 4 out of this. And according to the recipe, you want to place them close together on the cookie sheet so they can rise together and you won't have crazy shapes. And then I'm gonna quickly knead this to make a few more biscuits. And like I said, I'm a novice at this. You all can laugh at me if you want. I'm trying. If I can do this, anybody can. And according to the directions, you don't want to, or the instructions, you don't want to add too much flour to this mixture as you're trying to roll it out. Made these a little thicker. I'll probably get 2 more out of this. May be able to get, we'll see. Okay. Let's see. I may just, well, I don't know. Let me roll it out and see. 1 more out of that. Okay, and then I'll just roll this one by hand. Press it out. Be a funny little biscuit. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10. So I've got 10 biscuits out of that recipe. I'm going to put them in the oven at 450 for 10 to 13 minutes. And that's what they look like. I'll show you what they look like when they come out. Keep my fingers crossed. I'm going to beat my eggs up first. You can add milk to your eggs. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm not going to add any today. These are chopped green peppers I had in the freezer that I chopped up from the summer. I'm going to do that more often. Usually I would just slice them and then I would dice them as I took them out of the freezer. And this is leftover onions I had from Thanksgiving. Some of them are kind of big, but I'm still going to go ahead and use those in the omelet as well. I'm going to season this with a little garlic powder. It's my mushrooms. And black pepper. I'm going to go ahead and cut up some Velveeta cheese. This is leftover cheese I've had from Thanksgiving as well. So I want to hurry up and use this cheese. I do have other cheese, other types of cheese in there, but I want to go ahead and get this Velveeta used up. And then I'm just going to get this in my saucepan. Have a little butter in it. I had to take it off the burner because the butter was starting to burn, get a little brown. And I like to cook my omelet in a saucepan because I don't want the omelet to get too thin, to thin out. I like it to stay firm and not be too thin. Go ahead and get my omelet in here. Biscuits are cooking. I'll show you what they look like when they come out. Gotta put a little garlic powder in there. Check this omelet. I think I probably should have put it in a bigger pan. I may have scrambled eggs, but we'll see. The biscuits are starting to brown, but they're not rising too much. But this is my first try at making them like this. As long as they have a good taste, I don't care what they look like. I think I'm gonna have scrambled eggs here instead of an omelet. Yeah, it's stuck to the pan, so it's just gonna be scrambled eggs. But sometimes that happens, not a big deal. I probably should have used a smaller or a larger pan too. But I tend to like to cook my omelets in smaller pans. But when I would decide to film, this would happen. But that's okay. It's supposed to be an omelet, but it's going to be scrambled eggs. Oh well. Gonna go ahead and look at these biscuits again. I'm gonna go ahead and take them out. No, I maybe leave them in a few more minutes. I like them to get a little browner. While I'm waiting on the omelet, I'm gonna go ahead and get me some salsa. I made this salsa. I opened it up a few minutes ago. It's got a lot of heat to it. But I'm going to put a little salsa on the side. I probably should have put some in the omelet itself, but... So I have avocado and sour cream and my homemade salsa that I made probably 2 to 3 years ago. And I have some blackberry preserves I'm going to put on the biscuits. I'm going to turn you back over here. Yeah, I think the omelet's done. I'm going to turn that off. Check these biscuits one more time. I'm going to go ahead and get the biscuits out as well. And like I said, they didn't rise. I'm pretty sure I had self-rising flour, but it's in the canister, so who knows. I'm going to douse this with a little butter. Probably should have put melted butter in a little dish and brushed it on there. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make my plate here. Get me a few pieces of bacon. And I'm kind of excited about these biscuits. See me get one here. I think I'll get this one. Put it right there. Well, let me try this one, the one I flattened out by hand. Give it a taste. Doesn't have a bad taste. Get me a little jam. And this is going to be my supper today. Avocado, sour cream, homemade biscuits. They have a good taste. They just didn't rise very much. It's supposed to be an omelet, but it's just scrambled eggs with green peppers, onions, mushrooms, and cheese. I seasoned with a little garlic powder, and I'm going to put some pepper on it in a minute, and bacon. Thank you all for tuning in to Siblings A&J Gardening. Thank you all for coming along with me. First time making biscuits this way. They didn't rise like I wanted to, but I'm going to keep practicing with this because it has a really good taste. Thank you all for liking, sharing, and subscribing to Siblings A&J. We have hit 800. I think we're 808. So thank you all so much. We appreciate it. We're still striving to get to 1,000. So share our channel, like our channel, pass it along, and subscribe. You all stay safe out here in this weather. I know they have gotten snow and ice in parts of the country. You all stay safe. Be blessed. show you how they're really good. Traveling to Daddy's, these roads are still bad, these side roads, but I'm gonna make it. Jeffrey said he saw a deer in the backyard today. I guess these are deer hooves. I guess the deer is looking for something to eat. We actually got 12.5 inches of snow. I'm out here at Daddy's now. I checked on him and I'm gonna head on home.